Thank you very much. And I have to apologize to all of you for being late. It was quite hectic to make my way out of KICC, and I promise you that this is not the typical politician's art of coming late but trying to take all the credit. Um, I won't go back to KICC to brag that I've come to do some huge assignment here. I will not do that at all. It is really a pleasure to join all of you this afternoon for this very important event. What you've done here and the institution that is coming to Accra is fantastic. As a former trade minister, I more than anyone else understands the power of regulation and the need for institutional capacity to be built to help galvanize momentum for what is today an important transitioning, sustainable transitioning. So I, I'm very excited to join you and also to welcome the African School of Regulation to its new home in Africa where it belongs and to Accra, beautiful Accra, where you'll find that there's significant work being done in different areas, whether it is in the continental free trade area, whether it is in energy transitioning in Africa, or in the ease of doing business. You'll find that Accra is indeed the place to be. As a Deputy Minister of Energy, I'm doubly pleased as well that the organization will be headquartered in Accra. Um, it's vital that Africa charts its own course to find African solutions so that the challenges we face will have solutions that are tailor-made for these challenges. Uh, the African School of Regulation is a welcome initiative that will help to develop the local expertise to guide policy and regulation in a way that is reflective of African priorities and needs. Um, Ghana is an established energy producing country. We have a solid baseline of expertise in the oil and gas sector. Of course, we continue to use local policies, local content policies to try and increase and build more capacity for our people. And it's welcome, news that you're bringing this regulation institution, the school, to Accra. Of course, we will need a lot of innovation in the space of regulation to be able to create the conditions that will allow us to attract capital and investment to make what we're trying to achieve a reality. One thing that has been missing in all the conversation, or that has not been as present in the conversation, has been capital, the question of capital. Capital has not exactly made its way into the conversation, and the sooner that we demonstrated the ability and the capacity to make prudent use of capital. And the earlier that we're able to demonstrate that risk is no longer such a big factor in Africa, the better for us to be able to attract funding into the conversations that we are having. A focus on regulation will also be key in helping us to go on the path that allows us to reap the full benefits of the transition. Um, the transition, we in Africa, especially for us in Ghana, we have been very clear that develop we must, transition we would, both have to go together, um, so that the economic paradigm, the fourth industrial revolution is not, we are not left behind, but we're also contributing to reducing greenhouse gas emissions as responsible global citizens. So the two have to be done hand in hand, and we believe that well-considered regulation, harmonized across countries, could help us establish the levels of cross-border energy integration that could propel investments and increase efficiency of the systems. I was in Abuja not so long ago, because in Nigeria they are ahead of us in Ghana in terms of energy transition. And then after that um, if you like, lesson learning expedition that I led to Abuja, I then also got an invitation to go to Dakar, and I also had the opportunity to lead a team there to also share, you know, lessons on what we're doing, and it just typifies what regulation and harmonization would help us to achieve. That we speak with one voice, that we're sitting at the table with a unified voice, and then our bargaining power, our ability to put across what our aspirations are and what we expect of the whole global conversation on energy transition, we can be able to put a strong case across. In Ghana, we have said that we'll continue to develop in a sustainable way our hydrocarbon resources, deposits, and then we will also chart a pathway to net zero. Of course, that means that we have to, gas has been accepted as a transition fuel, and we'll continue to transition the power plants from liquid fuels to gas completely. It also means that we're bringing more of renewables into that conversation. We're doing some work very seriously on nuclear as well, to include nuclear in the mix. We've stopped flaring gas, and we're working with different international oil companies on the whole carbon carbon capture programs. So there's a lot of work that we're doing in Ghana in terms of energy transition, and we hope that we can, together with some of our neighbors who have also done some significant work in that regard, we hope that we can lead the path in Africa in that regard. I'm just coming from Mozambique with my president. We actually came here from there, and there too, with significant deposits that they've just discovered, it was important to share some lessons with them in terms of the sustainable way, while we still make use of the resources. We are not going to be able to finance the sustainable technologies, modern new technologies, renewable technologies, based on grants alone, based on philanthropies alone. We need to also have some homegrown capital that allows us to transition and transition quickly. Of course, if there is any evidence that still needs to be produced, that greenhouse gas emissions and the warming globe has effects on the planet, I think if anybody still needs that evidence, then I don't know where they are in the world. Wherever in the world you are, whether you're in Africa or Asia or Europe, I think the effects are being felt. We in Africa emit something about 3% of all of gas emissions, but we're being asked to transition at the pace that everybody else is supposed to be transitioning. In Africa, we find that sometimes we're holding the wrong end of a stick of a problem that we probably even didn't contribute to. And I think it is important that the transition is just. It's important that we don't leave people behind. It's important that we transition in a way that allows for socio-economic development, that agenda to continue to be prosecuted, create jobs for our people, and also bring our people along in terms of the rationale behind the whole transitioning. So I'm very delighted. I can assure you that I'll be working with you. Once you're in Accra, you're in my home, and we will work together to ensure that we achieve the collective objective that we have. And we are very pleased that you have given us in Ghana, in Accra, the honor of hosting the school. We hope that your stay there, while you're there, would help to bring the results that you've brought the school there for. And I can assure you of the government of Ghana's fullest support to ensure that we get the job done together. So thank you all very much.